Morning, guys. I'm Katie, the Education Director here at Carolina Tiger Rescue, and today is Tiger Tales Tuesday, and I am joined by Mr. Magoo Ocelot. We're sorry we missed you yesterday. It was pouring down rain, and not only were the cats not willing to go outside, the humans weren't either, so sorry. But we've got a twofer for you this morning. We are going to go ahead and do what we had planned for yesterday's enrichment today after we read our book. We've got Catherine behind the camera today.
Morning.
And just so you know, we are trying out a new piece of technology-ish, so we've practiced and practiced and practiced, and it should go fine, but just know if it goes wonky, we're really sorry, and we'll do better next time. So, all right, and I've got a new mask today that I'm still working out, but we'll be fine. All right, so tomorrow is Earth Day, for you who didn't remember, and the days are all blending together. Earth Day is, of course, celebrating our Earth, and a good reminder of what we can do as humans to protect our Earth. And make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got big enrichment for 3 of our tigers. I just gave you a hint as to who the 3 tigers would be. They potentially all live in the same enclosure. Hard to say. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But to go along those lines, we've got a book today called Don't Let Them Disappear, and it was written by Chelsea Clinton and illustrated by Gianna Marino. And it's just a good reminder as to the different animals that live out on our Earth, but also the ones that also need our help. So, here we go. You ready? He's so enthralled with the book already, he's tucking himself in for a nap. It's fine. I'm not at all offended. But go. You let me know if he comes back out. I'll move the book.
Oh, you've got nose.
Oh, here we go. Good. There are animals on every continent, in every ocean on Earth. Tall ones. He's growling. He loves it already. Tall ones and short ones, massive ones and smaller ones. Animals with long necks and long legs. Animals that are strong and not so strong. Every animal species is unique and important to life on Earth. Some are almost gone and could become extinct if we don't act to save them now. Long before the sun is up, giraffes wake early to get a head start on the day's work of walking, eating, and staying away from predators. Towers of giraffes will walk 9 miles or more every day to find food, all the food they need to eat. Even though they are the tallest animals on Earth with the longest necks, they use their nearly 2-foot-long tongues to reach even higher for the leaves that make up most of their diets. Every giraffe has a unique pattern of spots to help hide from predators. But giraffes don't rely solely on their spots for protection. A single giraffe kick can kill a lion. Don't let them disappear. Waking up with the sun, gorillas leave their nests to find food before they'll need to rest again as the day heats up. While gorillas mainly eat plants, they sometimes snack on small insects too. It's hard work gathering dozens of pounds of food that an adult gorilla needs to consume each day. Gorilla moms carry their babies on their chests or backs, and a troop of gorillas communicate, it's hard to read this morning too, by using sounds and facial expressions similar to the way we do. In captivity, some gorillas have even been taught to use sign language. Language is not the only thing humans and gorillas share. Gorillas can catch human diseases, even a cold, which can be deadly. Don't let them disappear. I'm getting a stink eye. Blue whales are the largest animals the world has ever seen. Whales are mammals like us, but unlike us, blue whales have to focus on breathing, which means they can never fully be asleep. They take in oxygen from water and air. When they breathe out, the vapor can roar up to 30 feet high, making them visible, including to the whalers who almost hunted them to extinction 50 years ago. They tend not to travel in big pods, preferring to swim alone or in pairs. That doesn't mean they're not in touch, though. Blue whales communicate with one another up to 1,000 miles away at a frequency too low for humans to hear, and in a language scientists are still working to understand. But scientists can sense their heartbeats up to 20 miles away. Don't let them disappear. He's almost coming out. He's fine. Are you enjoying it, Magoo? Jury's still out. By the time the sun comes up, rhinoceroses have been grazing, sleeping only during the hottest periods of the day. Rhinos spend most of their time eating and rolling in mud to stay cool. The mud also acts as a sunscreen and shields the rhino's skin from bugs. Oh, maybe we should try that. Roll around in mud. I think that would be fun and messy. While rhinos spend little time together in a crash or a group, they are often found in the company of oxpeckers, which are birds that sit on the rhinos' backs eating bugs. Oxpeckers also warn rhinos if danger is approaching. That's particularly helpful because rhinos' eyesight isn't very good, though their sense of smell and hearing are strong. Rhinos have very thick skin and their horns are made of keratin, just like our fingernails and hair. Don't let them disappear. Although giant pandas spend most of their time alone in the afternoon, you might find an embarrassment of giant pandas eating lots of bamboo together. I feel like that's an accurate term for a group of pandas, an embarrassment. They need to eat so much bamboo, more than 25 pounds a day, because it's not very nutritious. Unlike other bears, giant pandas do not hibernate or roar, but they do squeak and growl and use scents to communicate with one another. While they're born pink, the distinctive black and white fur they later grow is a form of camouflage, helping giant pandas blend into the shadows of their native bamboo forests. They rarely need the camouflage, though, since they have very few animal predators. Don't let them disappear. Whale sharks are the biggest fish in the world and may be one of the few animals who never sleep, no matter what time of day or night it is. From the moment they're born, whale sharks never stop swimming. Alive, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, sharks have been around for hundreds of millions of years. They don't have a single bone in their bodies. Whale shark skeletons are made of cartilage, the same substance that's in our noses and ears. No matter where they are, shivers of whale sharks can sense a drop of blood if it's in the water nearby, though they mainly eat plankton. Don't let them disappear. In the Arctic, for much of the year, day and night do not have the same meaning. They do in other places on Earth. In the summer, it's light nearly 24 hours a day. In the winter, it's dark all day. Celebrations of polar bears sleep when seals, their main food, are sleeping. Most of their seal hunting takes place underwater. To withstand the below freezing temperatures above and below water, polar bears have 2 layers of fur. Their fur gives them their whitish color. Their skin is black. Polar bears have good eyesight to help distinguish between shades of white on ice and can smell seals up to 20 miles away. Don't let them disappear. Here we go. As the sun begins to set, lionesses head out to hunt antelope, buffalo, wildebeest, zebra, and giraffes to feed their pride. But they don't hunt all day. Lionesses can sleep for more than 15 hours each day. Male lions sleep even longer, up to 20 hours a day, even though they rarely hunt. Both lions and lionesses will fight to protect their pride. A male lion's mane provides extra protection and also shows how old the lion is. The darker the mane, the older the lion. Lions and lionesses communicate with one another in many ways, including roaring. A lion's roar can be heard up from 5 miles away, helping members of their pride who might have wandered off find their way back, or helping hunters find them. Even though they're called king of the jungle, they're still not safe from harm. Don't let them disappear. And we know, lions don't live in jungles. That's silly. A romp of sea otters settles down to sleep by lying on their backs and wrapping themselves in kelp so they don't have to worry about floating out to sea. If there's no kelp nearby, and sometimes even if there is, otters will join together, making a raft for stability and security. Sea otters use rocks to crack open clams and other shellfish they like to eat. If a sea otter finds a particularly useful rock, it will travel with it and use it over and over again. After every meal, sea otters wash their paws and fur. No easy task, given they have more fur on a small patch of skin that we have on our heads. Don't let them disappear. Imagine washing all that hair. As the sun sets, orangutans prepare nests in the trees, sometimes building roofs to cover the mattresses they have woven out of branches and leaves. Like us, orangutans prefer to sleep in protected spaces. Unlike us, their arms are longer than their bodies to help them navigate from branch to branch, tree to tree. Orangutans tend to spend more time on their own than in groups, and much of that time is spent climbing, sitting, and swinging high above the ground. When a congress of orangutans is together, they communicate with sounds, facial expressions, and gestures like we do. Their similarities to us are reflected by their name. Orangutan means person of the forest. In Malay, the language spoken in orangutans, native Malaysia. Don't let them disappear. Here we go again. When night has fallen, tigers wake up to hunt. Their night vision is up to 6 times more powerful than ours. As the biggest cats on earth, tigers need a lot of meat to stay healthy and strong. They hunt mainly deer, wild pigs, antelope, and water buffalo. Tigers are good athletes and can jump more than 15 feet in 1 pounce and run more than 40 miles per hour over short distances. Unlike most other cats, they love water and can swim more than 3 miles at a time. Generally solitary animals, tiger moms and cubs together form a streak, each with their own distinct pattern of brown, black, or gray stripes. Don't let them disappear. See, he liked the fact that tigers were on here. He's like, wait, I know tigers. Late at night, elephant herds are fast asleep, enjoying their second sleep of the day. The first comes when the sun is high and hot. The largest animals on land, elephants have trunks that can weigh 400 pounds and can be more than 6 feet long. Elephants use their trunks to sense an object's size, shape, and temperature. And they use them like a snorkel when swimming. All elephants have trunks, but not all elephants have tusks. The very long teeth that help them find food and water. Elephants have a range of emotions like we do, including love, compassion, and grief. They even cry over their lost loved ones years after they're gone. Where are you going, Magoo? We're almost done. Promise. Let's make a pledge as fellow inhabitants of planet Earth that we won't let any of these species disappear. See, he's making his pledge. Are you going to help us keep these species around? While he's on the move, we should get up and unshift him so that he can get his enrichment. Again, we have enrichment for him because we missed out on it yesterday with the rain. So we're going to try to pop up real quick and unshift him. So he's been in his front shift and in his back shift. Catherine, if you want to go show, and I will unshift this guy. We have a hard plastic turtle kiddie pool filled with tubes. There's some meats hidden in there. Some treats, meat treats hidden in there. And also sprayed with one of his favorite scents, which is Axe body spray. And as you can see, he has noticed there's something a little different there. He's gonna come over to investigate. What do you think, Magoo? You got any questions? So Magoo is our only ocelot, and if you guys remember, ocelots are native to Central and South America. There's actually a small population in Texas of about 50 ocelot members, or individuals. These guys are also solitary, and sometimes we find that our enrichment is a bust, or we are more of an enrichment for them than what we give them. These guys are primarily nocturnal. They're going to spend most of their time during the day sleeping and coming out at night. Magoo's got kind of a mixed up schedule though, because the way things work around here is he gets the majority of his enrichment and food during the day.
We do have a question about whether or not they like the rain.
Do they like the rain? Most of our cats would prefer it didn't rain very often. And Magoo being one of them, he'll hide out in his den box like you saw for the majority of that time. The tigers though, don't care. The lions will either hide out in their den boxes, or they will spend the most of the time under trees trying to hide out from the rain. So just much like your cats at home, they of course have their individual personalities. Some cats at home, domestic cats, like water, but the big majority of them do not. And that is much like our animals at home as well.
So why Axe body spray?
Because it's really smelly and stinky. These guys, above all of our other cats, love smelly and stinky things. And for whatever reason, Axe body spray is one of their number one favorites. And he is slowly checking all that out. But this is a mark of good enrichment. He's still interested in it. Something that he's not, he's thinking about, and he's wandering around and inspecting. We prefer if enrichment, there he goes, we prefer if enrichment takes a little longer. The longer it takes, the more enriched he will be. So if you think about it at home, if you're doing a coloring sheet and it takes you, it's just a circle, it's certainly not going to take you as long as doing a coloring sheet, as a coloring sheet that may have lots of little pieces in it that you need to color. That's going to take you longer. So we've lots of stuff going on that he's got to check out. He's making sure that turtle's not going to go anywhere. Oh, and he smells that Axe body spray, so he is going to rub all over that. So we could break this down in a couple different ways for him. If we didn't want to give him everything at one time, we could just give him the pool. We could give him just the pool with the paper tubes. We could just give him the paper towel tubes. Or we could give him the paper towel tubes with the scent, or just hide meat in it. He's got 4 different types of enrichment in there, or 4 different pieces to his enrichment: the pool, the paper towel, toilet paper tubes, scent, and meat. And he hasn't even discovered the meat yet, which means he'll be busy for a while, which is fantastic. So we want to head over to Santana. We can always check back on him and see how he's doing. All right, we're going to head over just across this lush green, weeded, grassy area to Santana Serval. And Santana thinks he's hiding. He's just to the right of his den box, which may be a little hard to see right now. But you'd see his head pop up and his ears pop up there. Hi, Santana, you ready? Oh, there we go. So these guys are known as giraffe cats in Africa, because he's got a longer neck than you could say that Magoo had, and he also has, his legs are much longer too, so it gets him up above the grassy areas so he can see around. Are you ready? we put this in a few minutes ago, so we're gonna have to remind him that he can come back over. Here's Santana. And come check out his pool. Santana! Ah, there he comes. So we used a different scent with him. Same setup, different scent. We put patchouli. The keeper said that he actually likes the smell of patchouli. You see he's inspecting it. This is new to his enclosure. Sniffing, sniffing, sniffing. What can you find? He's almost shaking with excitement. Notice those big ears on Santana. Servals have the biggest ears in proportion to their head size of all the cats. Oh, he found some turkey. Those ears help him hear mice underground. He can hear a mouse about 6 inches underground and up to a mile away. These guys, if we had ears in proportion to our head size as large as his, we would have ears the size of dinner plates. Imagine the earrings we could put on those. So we've had a question before whether or not our guys catch any of the native animals around here. And we got word on Sunday that Santana didn't come up for feeding right away, which is not normal for him, and put our keepers a little bit on alert. He looked fine, but he just wasn't coming up. So when they finally got him to come up, he came up with a squirrel. He had caught and killed a squirrel that came through his enclosure. You work that out, dude? There's some enrichment for you. So he wasn't as hungry for his food. He still ate it, but he said, I'm going to take care of this squirrel first. So Santana and Magoo actually were both born here at Carolina Tiger Rescue. They were part of our Fortimer breeding program. You work it out, dude? Oh, yeah. He said, I gotta get that meat. Catherine hit it really well. They were part of our former breeding program. Again, we do not do any breeding here at the rescue anymore. We haven't bred here. Actually, Santana was our last baby born here in 2000 and... Hold, please. Santana distract. 2003. So he was our last baby born here. In 2003, we don't do any breeding. The only animals that come in now are rescues. And that is because there's bigger facilities like AZA zoos that are abiding by species survival plans, which is fantastic, that are allowing, that are doing that breeding. And we have found that our resources and energy are better put into rescuing instead.
What kind of meat did you feed him today?
He got turkey today.
Oh.
Pieces of boneless turkey. Big old hunks of it. It's like a scavenger hunt. What do you think, Santana?